6, ladies and gentlemen, from Whangamomana, Gavin Much. He's no stranger to this stage.
Another man that is no stranger to this stage. From Napier, the legendary Johnny K is in the building, John Kirkpatrick.
On stand number 5 is tonight, his night. Ladies and gentlemen, David Buick.
From Invercargill and on a winning streak. Give it up for Leon Samuels, ladies and gentlemen. This is his first time up here in the big smoke.
On stand number 4, he just finished shearing for New Zealand and he is still pumped. Bring him up, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Stratford from Invercargill.
The mean, lean shearing machine, the defending champion. He's walking the aisle. Roland Smith, ladies and gentlemen, from Hastings.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give these guys 2 or 3 minutes to look through their pen, get their gear organised, and then Johnny McBride is going to set the place on fire.
Just while the judges are coming onto the board.
Good evening. So we're back, and this is the last event, the biggest event for the 2020 Golden Shears Championships, the 60th anniversary. Digger, it's been 3 frantic big days, and it's all culminated now in what we have in front of us. This is the big one, isn't it?
Oh, this is the one everyone's come to see, Mavis. No disrespect to all the other events, but you know the Open Championship is just the pinnacle. And yeah, we're going to see a new winner tonight. We've got Leon Samuels in there, Nathan Stratford. He's been a finalist a few times, many times actually.
Yeah.
Hasn't won it, but David Buick, local boy from Pongaroa. I know the Wairarapa won a champion. This could be David's year. So those 3, you know, they're trying to get their hands on that trophy for the first time. And then we've got Johnny Kirkpatrick. He's won it a few times. Roland Smith, 6 times he's won it. Aiming for number 7 to be the second most winner of the Golden Shears Open behind Sir David Fagan. And we've got the Scotsman, Gavin Much. Gavin won it back in 2015. So who's going to win it? We just don't know. These are the 6 best shearers, and you know it's going to be a fantastic event.
There's certainly going to be a fantastic event, and you're quite right. This is where the rubber hits the road. Every other event just fades into oblivion now because our focus really has to be here. 20 sheep, 20 second shear sheep supplied by White Spurs Station, and this is an event where there's not just money, but there's mana, and then there's also real recognition in terms of Trans-Tasman and stuff. But look at the concentration here.
The money just doesn't come into it. You know, these guys would do it for if the first prize was for $1.
Yeah,
it's just the glory, the honour, the mana of winning that. They're away.
Here we go. Look at Johnny Kirkpatrick. He's done a lot of work already tonight, Digger.
Oh, Johnny's been busy. No, he hasn't. He's had a quiet night. Sorry, Johnny.
He hasn't had all 3.
No. This is Johnny's first event tonight, so he'll be nice and fresh.
True. Gosh, every day's rolling into the same one.
Johnny Kirkpatrick on stand 1. Leon Samuels, the boy from Invercargill, on stand 2, first time finalist. Roland Smith, the legend himself, on stand 3. Nathan Stratford on 4. David Buick on 5. And Gavin Much, the Scotchman, on 6.
So Nathan's the one who's had the big night, isn't he?
Yes, Nathan certainly had a big night, and
oh, look at that, Gavin in already.
Yeah, Gavin renowned for getting a quick start. But just looking at the 2 boys on 2 and 3, we've got now we pan to a wide shot. Yeah, look at Gavin Much just throwing that medal as fast as he can. Top notch comes off for him. Roland Smith, a couple of blows behind, so these two have opened up a little bit of a lead already. They've obviously picked a couple of good sheep to start on. I was out there when the boys sorted out their pens earlier this afternoon after the semi-final. What they do is they go out and they 22 sheep in their pen, they chuck the 2 that they don't like, they can chuck them out, and then the other 20 that they're left with, they'll rattle, put marks on some of them. They'll probably start on a couple of good ones and then they'll try and mark 5 or 6 sheep to come home on, so number 15, 16 through to 20, and they want their good sheep. So in between that they've got to do what we call their work, do the ones that are a little bit bigger, a little bit more wool on them. And, but every shear is different, they've all got different tactics. Some shearers might try and shear 4 or 5 right at the start just to rattle someone. So maybe that's what Gavin's doing, he's up the neck and he's into it.
He's not waiting around for anyone, but you know, Roland's, he's not too far away, they're all there really.
Oh, there's nothing in it, just Roland Smith down into the long blow.
Leon just had a bit of a kicker there, he wouldn't be happy with that, but you know, no panic, just settle it back down and keep going.
Yep, they know Roland's the guy to beat, and they probably need to just try and get some time on Rolly, try and put him under some pressure, because he's renowned for doing a quality job all the time, and if they can just let him settle into his groove, he's going to be even harder to beat. So what they've got to do, try and rattle him, and so Gavin's trying to do that, but Rolly's just phenomenal shearer that he is. He's just holding his own, and he's still leading now. He's right up with Gavin.
Yeah.
David Buick's not too far behind, the local boy, Wairarapa boy. Gee, wouldn't it be great to have a Wairarapa boy take this one out?
Oh, it's been a long while. It's been a bit of a drought down here for the Wairarapa, but you know, we're great hosts, and we're happy to host an event that allows the best to rise to the top. Nathan Stratford, Invercargill, he's had a big night tonight. You know, Digger, when you've done 3 big events or 2 big events and then you come to this, you know, is there much left in the petrol tank to, you know, push this one through as well?
Oh, these guys are athletes, super fit. You know, they're all on training programs. So yeah, they'll be. You know, they would have been a little bit tired after the Trans-Tasman and after the PGG, but you know, they've had 20 minutes rest and now they're just ready to go. And it's just like shearing in the shed. You know, you do one run, you're pretty tired at the end of the run. You stop for smoker, you have something to eat and something to drink, and you know, you've got half an hour and then you're back into it and away you go, battling your mate on the next stand. And you know, these guys do it day in, day out, so really this is just a quick walk in the park for them.
Quick walk in the park, that sounds just far too easy. Look at David Buick. His board point's just a little bit above the average at the moment, but it's still early days for him.
Early days, yep. David will be hoping that he can just stick with the pace and come home on that second half of the sheep. He's been really training hard.
Gavin's just gone in for his 6th sheep, and Roland's just heading in for his as well. So David, you know, David Buick's hanging in there as well.
Yeah, Gavin's got a lead of about 5 or 6 blows over Rowley and David Buick. And then we go back to Nathan Stratford. He's just gone in for number 6, Johnny Kirkpatrick. Him and Leon have just had a couple of kickers down there on 1 and 2. But it's a Scotchman down there on stand 6, and just Gavin probably hasn't been doing as much shearing as he has, you know, normally does this year. And whether he's going to have enough in the tank to shear at this pace for the whole 20 sheep, let's hope he has.
Well, he's a brave heart. You know, those Scots, they're brave hearts, aren't they?
Yep. Oh, he won't go down without a fight.
No way.
Just has a little bit of trouble getting that one down the hole. Roland Smith has picked up a couple of blows. They are just blow for blow now. So nothing in it. In goes David Buick.
Would you expect to see this pace the whole way through, Digger?
Oh, they'll probably get faster, Mavis.
Wow.
You know, you think that they're going as fast as they can, but what they'll be into now is doing all the work, doing the sheep that are a little bit bigger, the woollier ones, and then when they change that handpiece, round about sheep 12 or 13 probably, they'll probably pick the pace up over those last 6 or 7. because they'll be the better shearing sheep, and they'll be really trying to get a time advantage on their mate.
Meanwhile, Gavin's going like a man possessed. Look at him. He's just lightning fast down there.
Yeah, he's got what we call a quick hand. Everyone's just a little bit different, but he's got a quick hand, and everything he does is just so quick in and out of the pen. Where David Buick next to him, they call him the Iceman. He's just a little bit more controlled with his movement, a little bit slower in and out of the pen, but that's just the way he is.
Yeah, he's still in the pace though. He's still right with him. He's not far.
David Buick's actually picked up Roland Smith. So David's actually in second place time-wise, and he's about 3 or 4 blows behind Gavin.
We'll expect this to seesaw, won't we? Right through this, the 20 sheep, there'll be a bit of a seesaw going on, because surely Gavin can't sustain that pace. Surely he can't sustain that. Look, David Buick's right with him, right at this very moment.
Yeah, well, it just comes down to how they're farming their pen. When they're doing their good ones, someone might want a couple of good ones right in the middle, just to give them a little bit of a perk up, just so they can get out in front. But gee, we've got a good race on our hand. The 3 of them, there's nothing in it, and the other 3 guys, they're only the last side behind, so it's really only a sheep that just kicks for 1 or 2 seconds, and those other 3 guys will catch up.
Yeah, it's for those who are just not quite there. It's maintaining, keeping that, that distance. It's about staying with those leaders, isn't it?
Yep. And just watching Rolly shear, see, he's put a mark on the back of that one. So that's obviously a mark. He's probably marked that sheep, maybe because it's a bigger, woollier one that he wants to get done.
Get it out of the road.
Get it out of the way.
Yep, well, he's just on the average. He's middle of the pack in terms of his board points and in terms of his time. So he's sitting in a bit of a comfortable place, maybe.
Yep, Rolly will know. He's renowned for a really good job, and we've just seen a handpiece change from Gavin. So he's obviously changed a little bit early. Changed after 9, not quite that happy. So. What could happen is, when he gets to sheep 17 through to 20, the cut could just be going off on his second handpiece as well. So he might have a hard road to come home on. Here we go with our, just looking at the time points and the board points.
Nothing in it, really?
Nothing in it. Probably Nathan Stratford slightly in front on the board.
Yeah. They're all on sheep 10. That straight away sort of says we're all there.
Yep.
But here's David Buick.
The Iceman's hit the front. Won't the
and Rolly.
The Wairarapa crowd will be loving that.
Yep. Gavin
goes in. Roland's got the belly off his number 11, so they're just over halfway. And just looking at the faults up there in the top right of our screen.
Nothing.
Nothing in it to stand for. That's Nathan Stratford, probably, yes, slightly in front, but he's a little bit behind. So by the time he makes up that time, his time points will have ticked over as well. But it's the big fella on stand 3, Roland Smith, and I know he's got 2 nephews over in England watching Rolly. So big hi to Dusty and George if you're watching. If Mum's got you up. Watching Uncle Rolly trying to win a 7th Golden Shears title.
There's David Buick. Change of handpiece.
2 of them go in.
Yep, hi to Pippa and Matt. Lovely to get your texts, and hope you're enjoying the live streaming coming from Golden Shears.
Just a big hi to everyone, wherever you are in the world, watching this final tonight. Hope you're enjoying the coverage.
We're certainly enjoying being here. It's just almost speechless to watch and to see how these guys are managing the task in front of them. Look at Rolly, he's almost like on autopilot there.
Yep, and look at that Rolly and David Buick are just opening up at Gavin. I think Gavin's, as I said, he hasn't been doing as much shearing, so maybe his fitness is just coming into play a little bit. But he won't give up, but David Buick's actually gone in. He's gained 3 or 4 blows on Roland Smith on that one. Rolly had to bring the head out, change a handpiece for Roland Smith now. So the Buick man, he's got the lead of the belly and about 4 blows over the undermine.
I tell you what, Pongaroa will be on the edge of their seats. It'll be loud and proud out there.
Is there a good pub out there, Mavis?
There is.
It'll be heaving tonight. It'll be lucky to still be standing.
Yeah. No, they'll be all over this, like all the other small communities where these guys come from.
But hey, what about Leon and Samuels down there? Isn't it fantastic to see a new Open finalist, little Leon down there? You know, he probably only weighs about 60 kgs and he's up there shearing these huge ewes and just giving it everything he's got.
Oh, he's had a great season. I mean, it feels like he's kind of popped out of nowhere. David Buick's in, Rolly's right there with him. These guys are full on.
Rolly just not letting anyone get out in front of him. David Buick's got the belly off. Rolly's got the belly off. In goes Leon Samuels. Leon Samuels is actually picking up the pace. He is a guy that starts off a little bit slow, and then by the end of it, he is absolutely going flat out. So he's not too far away.
No, he's not. You know, you said earlier, Gavin changed gears, changed his handpieces quite early. You know, that also could be having an effect, eh?
Yeah, well, Gavin changed after 9, so he knows that he's got to shear 11 later on with his second handpiece. And, you know, the cut will be going off after about 4 or 5 on these dry cutting Wairarapa sheep. So, yeah, his last 4 or 5 sheep will be hard work for him. And, you know, the pressure's on at the start, but the pressure's really hard at the end too.
I can imagine. So Rolly and David Buick both in for 15, out on the board, going over that undermine, stepping up now.
Oh, they're just shearing in unison, Mavis. Yeah. They are just blow for blow. Brilliant. And look at Johnny and Johnny Kirkpatrick
and
down
Leon.
on one. We haven't actually been saying too much. These guys are actually getting quicker. They're actually picking Rolly and David Buick up, so they're not too far away. There's going to be nothing in it. Just looking at the points, stand forward, Nathan Stratford's still the lowest. Leon Samuels is having a really good shear quality-wise in the front.
Great quality points anyway on the board for all of them. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, David Buick and
again, look at that.
Yeah, it's a flat mountain, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Buick and Rolly's board points are just pretty much identical. And, you know, they're blow for blow, so it's starting to come down to the quality out the back.
And actually, you know, they've all got a bit of a reputation for, you know, clean out the back.
Well, Mavis, they wouldn't be in the final if they weren't clean.
Yeah.
But, you know, saying that, Rolly's really hard to beat when you're going at this speed. He just seems to be able to really polish the sheep up no matter what speed. Some guys, when the pace comes on, they just leave a little bit more on, make a couple more mistakes. But that's not to say that David's not going to be able to do it tonight. Oh, we're just seeing us. David Buick's changed the cutter.
It looked like it.
And
flash of an eye.
That would be one of the quickest cutter changes I've ever seen. He only lost about 2 seconds, so he'll probably pick that up if his gear is just going to go that little bit better over the last 4 sheep. That might be all he needs to get back in front.
That was unbelievable change. That was unbelievable. Hardly saw it. You could have easily have missed that. Easily have missed it.
So quick. So Rolly's just coming on the last side. He's turning. David Buick turns for the last side. Rolly's opening up a little bit of a gap. And now with sheep 17 just about completed, they'll be getting into their real good sheep. The last 3 or 4 sheep are probably the best sheep in their pen. So a little bit less wool on them. In goes David Buick. He's still right there with Rolly. Look at Leon Samuels. So he's
not far away.
He's not far away. First time finalist.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Former world record holder.
They've had a great night, that family. Him and his brother Jimmy, Adrian, his sister, Shantaine, the niece. I mean, what a fantastic night they've had.
Yeah, look at Leon Samuels. His board, he's got a good board, Leon. Very, very low, 1.3. There's only one board better than that, and that's Nathan Stratford.
Yeah, 1.1.
Nathan just a little bit back off the pace. I think Nathan's one behind Rowley. Rowley's got, he goes in for number 19. Yeah, I don't think they're going to catch Rowley.
No, he's just struck out, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's just struck out.
Very fit. Magnificent shearer.
Oh, David Buick's not giving up though. He just about ripped that door off the hinges going in there. Crowd are going for him. Come on, David. Good local man.
He'll be hoping that Rowley's just made a few mistakes.
I'm not hoping that.
No, well, that's what. Well, it's not a nice thing to say, but that's probably what David's thinking.
Absolutely.
I can't stick with him, but I'll keep my job right, and maybe Rowley's just leaving a little bit on, just the speed he's going.
Yeah.
But Rowley's just pulling away. He's having a brilliant shear, Rowley Smith.
You know, beautiful farming of his pen, as you said before. You know, to be able to save those things just for that last bit must be very satisfying when it all starts to happen.
Yeah, really tempting to do too many good ones at the start, but you know that the pressure's going to be on at the end, and he needs those good ones. And
it's a beautiful little one he's got too. Look at that.
There's no better feeling than finishing first and knowing you've had a good shear. And he's going to be hard to beat, Roland Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
A long blow time for him now on number 20. David Buick up the neck. Leon Samuels, he's picked up.
He's right with them. He's not too far away.
And Johnny Kirkpatrick, he's just got number 20 on the board.
Oh, but here's Rowley. Look at this.
Down the last side comes Gavin.
There he goes.
Rowley's, there he goes. The champion himself.
Fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
Now it's a race for the next. Look at Leon Samuels. He's picked up David Buick.
Too.
Oh my goodness.
That's fantastic from little Leon.
Yay.
He'll be stoked with that shear.
David Buick, way to go, David. You gave it everything. Oh. So they're all on 20. You know, there's not much, really, there's not much between it. There's, you know, we have seen in the past a sheep put around different ones in these finals when people get ahead like that. But, you know, they've all held on. They've held their space. Johnny's finished.
Fantastic effort from Johnny Kirkpatrick. I don't think Johnny would mind me saying that. I think he's pretty close to 50 years of age. What an achievement to be up there with these younger guys. Nathan Stratford, another shearer that's been around for a long, long time. Just look at the sportsmanship. You know, Rowley going down the board to shake Nathan's hand, shaking David's hand. They're all good mates, these guys.
Yeah.
Gavin Much just faded a little bit.
Oh.
And look at that, the friendship.
What a fantastic event to end the night, Digger. Let's sit back and just consider what the heck has happened here. We'll go back into the stadium for a bit, and hopefully we get to catch up with some of these champions very shortly. And by the way, thanks heaps for coming up.
Oh, it's been a privilege sitting up here next to you, Mavis, and getting a really good view, and it's been incredible. What a magnificent occasion. 60 years Golden Shears, and I'm lucky. I've been coming 90. I'll show my age here. I think my first year was 1982. I came down and shore in the juniors. 1982, but I shore in the juniors, but I didn't see a lot of shearing. Let's put it that way. But and then I progressed through to the Open, and my first year in the Open was 1987, and I've been coming every year. So it's just great. You know, it's we treat it like a holiday.
Yeah.
Come down here, bring the family, and catch up with all your mates.
No, well, it's people like you, Digger, that continue to make this place the special place it is, where we keep coming back, we keep looking for each other, we keep saying hi, and we keep celebrating the new and the not so new, because that's what this industry is all about. So, no, very cool. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toby.
Day after day, year after year, to achieve the best possible result for our clients. That's why we're the nation's #1 rural real estate brand. Bailey's Country. We're altogether better.
Is the traditional address by the President of the Golden Shears. So please welcome onto the board Sam Saunders.
Get my piece of paper ready. Right, welcome to everybody to our 60th year. I've said it several times the last couple of days, it's a very, very special year for us all, and more so for the older members of our committee. I would like also to welcome our Prime Minister. We've had a number over the years, and they're very. The Prime Minister's always very welcome here. Also our Mayor, and our past mayors and special guests. And firstly, I would like to acknowledge Coro, so I'd like everyone to stand for a moment's silence, please. Thank you. Coro, as everyone knows, was a member of our Shearing family and is sadly missed, but his legend will live on for a long, long time. And a lot of what we see with the live streaming goes to him, and it's really tremendous that Mavis has stepped into his shoes. And thank you, Mavis, we appreciate it. Over the years, we've had many committees right from the start, and we've got Laurie, he was on the very first committee, and Edwin, who was young and helping, and his father was on the committee, and there's a lot of memories, a lot of stories that go back for a long, long time, but a lot of those men were very wise men. They set up Golden Shears in such a way that it's lasted 60 years, and a lot of the way that we run it now is due to that. So thank you, Laurie, and your comrades. But throughout the years, we've had lots of committee members, and there's too many to name altogether. But you all had a contribution, and behind the scenes, and right up to today. And we have a tremendous committee, and there's a lot people just don't see behind, but I would like to acknowledge Philip and Anna, and because people don't know what they do behind, they do a tremendous amount. And Deb, our secretary, I forgot to thank Deb last year, but I'll thank you twice this year. At the beginning of Golden Shears, when they went out and got sponsors, they had 3 sponsors who put up £1,000 each. There was Caltex, TVL and Borthwick's. And without them, the show wouldn't have gone on. And it's the same today. We cannot operate without our sponsors today. And we have our 5 sponsors up here, our Bailey's, PGT Writers, Lister, Paddy Mason and Trust House. And they have a tremendous contribution to the funding of Golden Shears. But we also have many minor sponsors, which are all part of all our wool industry, go towards helping our wool industry. The sheep suppliers, there have been many, many over the years. And because our fibre 60 years ago was so valuable to the farmers, it's my understanding that there was one sheep supplier that didn't want his sheep crutched because it cut the fibre in half. And that is what we are all on about, because wool is a terrific product. It's biodegradable. It doesn't float in the ocean. You've never seen a fish with wool stuck in its teeth. And you just imagine the Glenfield Tower in London. If that was lined with wool, it would never have burnt and lost so many lives. And the Conference Tower in Auckland, if that hadn't had chipwood and tar in its building, it wouldn't have been such a big fire. And the whole reason our shearing industry has evolved is to keep the condition of our wool good and in one piece. And that's why we have these competitions, so that we can get the perfection out of the shearers, which we've seen tonight and in many places around the world. And it all comes down to, a lot of it is the founding of Golden Shears. Our world events are called World Golden Shears. We had Golden Shears France back in July. In 2 years' time, we've got Golden Shears Edinburgh. So these are all things that have actually come out of Golden Shears. Masterton's name of Golden Shears goes around the world. Interestingly enough, right at the very start, it wasn't called Golden Shears. The one name that was floating around was called the Golden Fleece. And for a while, my understanding that a number of people weren't happy with the Golden Fleece, and it was dropped. But also too, there was in Australia an oil company called Golden Fleece, and I think they might have had a little bit of a say in copyright. Where are we now? Golden Shears was also a founding of the World Council. There was Wairarapa, Bath and West, and Golden Shears. They all had two seats on the World Council, and we still have one. We gave one to Shearing Sports, and we still have an influence in what happens around the world. Now, I've got a little bit of interesting fact here. In England, there's a guild, the oldest guild in the world. It's called the Worshipful Company of Woolmen. And when in Queen Elizabeth I's reign, she was so concerned about the bad price of wool that she had Parliament bring in a law that everyone had to wear a woolly hat on a Sunday. And except the wealthy people, but they had to line their carriages with wool, and their coffins all had to be lined with wool. This saved the wool industry. And this is what we need to do with our wool industry. We need to line our houses, carpet our floors, and we need to use our product what it is actually intended for. You know, wool is a very powerful product, environmentally and economically. We as people should be using it for that. Thank you very much. That's him? Oh, yeah, no, are you going to call him up? Yeah, I will.
Yep. Thank you, Sam. We appreciate all the support and work that you give to the Golden Shears as well. Sam Saunders, the President of the Golden Shears. You've never seen a fish with wool in its teeth. You can't argue with that, can you? There's one more brief address before we get on to the presentations, just while we tally up the final points for the open final. We'd like to invite former Mayor of Masterton, a man with a long time association with the Golden Shears. Please put your hands together for Bob Francis.
God, that was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. A very good evening and welcome. Sam, I thought that was absolutely magnificent. Prime Minister Jacinda, it's great to see you here. And Clark, I'm not going to get into the politics tonight, but Sam, I thought some of the messages that you delivered tonight were pertinent and at the right time, and well done. Congratulations to you. Kieran, I recognise you as our eldest MP for the Wairarapa. Mika Waiteri, Todd Miller, Lynn Patterson, Mayor of Masterton. Lynn, it's great you're here tonight and doing a great job as our Mayor. I recognise Laurie Keats and Ian Harris and the originals who were involved with the first competition back in 1961. In New Zealand rugby, the 1905 All Blacks are referred to as the originals. The 1961 Golden Shears team are clearly the originals of New Zealand competitive shearing. It is a real pleasure to speak on behalf of Masterton District and the total region as we celebrate and recognise the outstanding contribution of Golden Shears over the past 60 years. Thank you, Golden Shears, for initially creating and establishing this unique and special event, and then for growing the event into a world-class event. The economic benefits and brand profile has been enormous. Economically, benefits over the 4 days of event for our hospitality industry and our retailers has been huge. The event has been right up there with large number of visitors enjoying the event and our hospitality. The financial benefits amount to several $1 million, which doesn't include the increase in profile across the globe. It's always been mentioned several times tonight. The event has been live streamed across the world through the expertise of Harvest Electronics. Other economic and social benefits have come from the profile and
we thought it would be fitting to have a birthday cake. So, I'd like to invite Sam Saunders, Laurie Keats and Snow Harrison up to the board, as well as Riker Swan, if he could please make his way up here. Now, as you heard in both Sam's contribution and Bob's contribution, Laurie Keats was one of the originals. The bloke is part of a team that came up with an idea of a competitive shearing competition. Now, Laurie, just quickly, before we cut the cake, when you organised this 60 years ago, did you think we'd be here today?
I think I did.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I was the only one.
Good on you, Laurie. Good on you. And Snow, just in case, now everybody knows Snow, but just in case you don't know the full story, Snow here is 86 years age. 86. And he's sure in the veterans event at this year's Golden Shears, 60 years after shearing in the original final, all those years ago. How good is that? Now actually, Snow, I've got something to ask you. Do you remember yesterday I took a photo with you outside? And I posted it on Facebook. And my 88-year-old grandmother saw the picture of you and she contacted me and wanted to know what you're up to tomorrow night.
I'm available.
He's available! Yes! Fantastic. Her name's Betty. She loves flowers. Right, I'll be in touch. Now, where's Riker? Come on up, Riker. Everybody, this is Riker Swan. And how old are you, Riker?
14.
He's 14 years of age and he won the novice competition at this year's Golden Shears. So we thought it would be totally appropriate to have an original organiser, an original competitor and the future of competitive shearing to get together and cut the cake. What do you reckon? Go over to Sam. Here you go.
I'm assuming it's in the three of these.
Face pizza, come out, grab it, get on it, where do you want it? How good is that? Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Riker. Thank you, Sam. I'll be in touch, Nate. Thank you. Right, I think it's just about time to start the presentations. Perfect, wonderful, let's do this. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the competitors from the PGG Wrightson National Circuit Shearing to the board, please, along with Ian Hopkirk, James Williams and Pat Long. Are you going to be speaking?
I'll say
Yeah. So if we could please have the competitors for the National Circuit up on the stage. So presenting this is Ian Hopkirk, PGG Wrightson Wool, James William, Hyundai New Zealand, and Phil Long, Dealer Principal, Wags Hyundai Masterton.
Thank you, Karen. Prime Minister, Mayor, and visiting dignitaries. These events, as we've heard, don't happen on their own. A lot of voluntary time and effort is donated to put them on, this one being no exception, but it also happens all through the country, through the shearing season. That shows a lot of grit and commitment by the wool industry, but also by rural communities throughout the whole country. PGG Wrightson is happy to support that with a few dollars, Hyundai with a vehicle, and now it does come to fruition. Well, then it does come to fruition. These 6 guys here started off on a circuit with 26, and they now represent those 26, which has culminated in the final here. It's a multi-discipline sport of shearing, number of breeds, classes of stock, and it requires good technique, mental and physical discipline, and technical expertise to have your gear running right. And I commend these 6 guys for being the finalists out of those 26 out of a circuit of 5 shows. Back to you, Karen.
The winner of the PGG Wrightson Wool National Circuit Shearing receives $500 plus $1,300 in PGG vouchers, plus a 12-month lease on a Hyundai Santa Fe, plus a spot in the Trans-Tasman team, as well as the McSkimming Memorial Trophy. First place penalty points were 71.2. Second place was 71.5. Please put your hands together for Angus Moore. Angus, I would shake your hand, mate. They're a bit full at the moment. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Congratulations. Now, Ian touched on how much work you had to put into getting here to even make the final. And now you've taken it out. You're amongst the greats. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. It's magic. Feels good. Big thanks to our sponsors. Thanks very much for putting in the sponsorship for it. It's a big effort for us to go around, and it's a big prize to win. So thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. I will just say I've got 5 kids and one on the way, so I'm not sure if they'll all fit in. Just quietly. Will be 8, mate. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Te Kaumatahi Natalie Moore, also known as Rātapu. She's amazing. And my wonderful kids who we drag around a fair bit, and they seem to love it, so that's good. Thank my family, extended family, my parents for supporting me on this journey that we do. Sam, Pete and Dion for giving us a hand with my gear. Our crew at home, More Sheep Shearing, and all our farmers in Marlborough who stick with their fine wool and have faith that the wool industry will be supporting them into the future. And a big thank you to all the volunteers who make this happen. I think it's really important as a part of our culture in New Zealand that we do something for free. It's good for your soul. I'd also like to just mention Koro. I always laugh when I think of Koro and what he used to call me on the stage. I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but it stopped me almost dead in my tracks. He called me Demi Moore's love child. I almost stood up and was like, what the heck is that? And a big thanks to the good Lord for allowing me to do what I love. Thank you. Ka kite anō. See you next year.
Well done, mate. Good on you. Second place, $400 plus 400 PGG vouchers, Nathan Stratford. Third place, $300 and 200 PGG vouchers, Troy Piper. Fourth place, Brett Roberts. Fifth place, Aaron Haynes. And give it up for the local lad, Pairata Abraham. We have an additional award for this event. It is the Godfrey Bowen Trophy for Best Quality Points in the Final, with quality points of 13.8. The Godfrey Bowen Trophy goes to Nathan Stratford. Could we now please have the teams from the Trans-Tasman Test, as well as Lance Waddell, up to the board. Some of the team are getting their photo taken at the moment. So I thought I'd pass on a little message. You've heard a lot tonight about how much we rely on our volunteers. Well, one of those volunteers, by the name of Alan Precious, has celebrated his 60th wedding anniversary this weekend. So well done, Alan.
No, it's not. No.
We're just waiting for these guys to come back round. Won't be a moment. In the meantime, I'd like to ask Lance Waddell, Director of Lister Shearing, to say a few words.
Thank you, Kieran. On behalf of Lister Shearing in the UK and Acto Agriculture in New Zealand, a big thank you and a welcome to the Australian team, and also to the New Zealand and Australian team for providing such a spectacle that we've seen. Since the inception of the test series between Australia and New Zealand in 1974, there's been 66 tests. 36 of those have been won by Australia, 30 by New Zealand. In the last 5 tests that we've had, Australia have won the lot. Can we change that tonight? For the last 32 years, I've been involved with the electronic timing system, and I've always known at this stage, or the first to know, who the winner is. Tonight, I don't have that luck. I'm like the rest of you, so we can't wait to find out now who the winner is.
Thank you, Lance. And we thank you and Lister for your continued support of this event. The Lister Shearing Trans-Tasman Shearing Test. The winning team receives $2,100, as well as the Walker Keats Cup. Now, Lance asks you a question. Will it be New Zealand? Or will it be Australia? It's New Zealand! Yes.
Just quickly, as we just heard, it's been a wee while between drinks, so the boys are very keen to do that tonight, and congratulations. And thanks very much, Australia. It was once again awesome battle. Great to have you guys here. Absolute pleasure, and safe journey home. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New Zealand team, Troy Piper, Pairata Abraham and Nathan Stratford. And let's congratulate Daniel McIntyre, Nathan Meaney and Damien Boyle of Australia.
So we've just seen some of the results from the test, but meanwhile, Digger once again has been on the scout and he's brought up to the stage Angus Moore, winner of the PGG Wrightson's Circuit final. How fantastic is that?
It's pretty fantastic.
Talk to us. How did it feel up there?
Oh, good. Yeah, like I just, I suppose I've won it before.
Yes.
In years past, but I was doing a lot more shows then and putting a lot more emphasis on it. And now that we're sort of, we're family and business and stuff, so it was a bit tricky and I haven't done a lot of shows, but I just really focused on the main points of shearing those merinos well and really trying to get the gear right, because if you get the gear right, you can just relax into it. As you dig a lot, once you get your gear right, you just relax into it and you can't change anything when you're up there, and then you just give it heaps. And that felt good.
So Angus, you shore 3 merinos at the start and 3 half-breds or corridors. Did you know you'd gone pretty well sort of after you'd shorn your 6 sheep? You know, and they're probably your strong sheep.
Yeah, like I felt like my gear was running, and if your gear's going to run good and you can flow on the merinos, then you just got to shear them, you know, like, and you can go as fast as you like, or as fast as your arm will let you. And so my gear ran, and like I always use my, I've got a couple of combs which I use on the merinos here, and they just always seem to go. And you're always sort of hesitant, thinking, is it going to go this year? Is it going to go? And I just whack it on now. I'm just like, well, if it doesn't go, it's not going to go, is it?
So you hit the long wall, and then the second shear, and Wairarapa started pulling away.
Yeah.
So, what's going through your mind? He's pulling away. You know, you've had a pretty good shear on the merinos here. You're thinking, just keep it together?
Hey, Dig, I know this is great, but I think, just hold the conversation. Let's just get to this wool handling presentation.
The opportunity arose. Tonight's final was exhilarating as every year. And even though the competitors make it look so easy, people don't realise the pure talent, discipline, composure and knowledge it takes to make it this far. I have no doubt that all of the open wool handlers that did compete this weekend are amongst the best in the world, and we should be proud New Zealand is home to so many champions. I would like to thank all of the competitors for giving it a go. Even if you didn't make the final or win, by just entering the Golden Shears, you are helping to pave the way for others to be inspired to join the industry. Thanks to all of our whānau, who are the resident shearers and wool handlers that have worked here over the last 4 days. Thanks to the judges, commentators, administration, and all of the volunteers involved. I know it's a big commitment. Congratulations to the Golden Shears Committee on another successful year and reaching the 60-year milestone. I'm sure we'll look forward to many years to come. Lastly, I'd like everybody to give a round of applause to our 4 finalists. It was a world-class performance and you definitely made us proud.
First place in the Shear Expertise Open Wool Handling receives $2,500 plus the Hennido Mason Memorial Trophy plus the wooden sweep. There were penalty points of 168. Second place, 213. Put your hands together, Joel Henare! Mates. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Joel has just won 8 open wool handling titles in a row. Mate, we've been here year after year after year, and every year you tell us how much this means to you, but I've never seen you celebrate like that. How good. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. I'd like to thank the sponsors, Shear Expertise. It's always good to have a bit of close family when it comes to sponsorship in behind such an iconic event. Yeah, it was one of those ones because these 3 here are the greatest from the areas Alexandra, Gore Matoda and the Taipi region. So you've got that to come up against with, as well as you've got to do the hurdle down here. But it's the top 2 inches is what will always get you guys by, and for the future, guys, and that's what I try and tell you guys is keep the top 2 inches, and that's what brings you home. I dedicate this win to Koro Mullins. Only because the microphone, that's the first person I think of when I think back to Danny Vrick for World Champs, and Koro leant over and said to me, "What do you think about that throw, young man?" And he said it to me, and from then on, and I says that was a good throw, from then on I've always kept the commentary, so I thank you, Koro. I never got to say thank you to him for my commentary skills, and that's what gives me the thing to do well with commentating, because I love it so much, is because of Koro. Second of all, my family for their support, all those that came down from Gisborne. Thank you. My mum, thank you. Prime Minister down here, Jacinta, and coming here and this iconic event, the Golden Shears, and no doubt we trust you had a good time, and I trust that everyone has a good night and safe travels back to where you come from. Kia ora.
Second place, $1,500 plus the wooden sweep. Pagan Karoria. Third place, $1,000, Cherie Alabaster. And it's an achievement to make the final in itself. Put your hands together for Candy Hiri.
Well, we interrupted the technical conversation that was going on between two great shearers to witness the Woolhandling results, and hopefully very shortly we'll also be able to speak with Joel. But anyway, back to you, Diggy. You were asking a very important question.
Yeah, Angus, I just wanted to know, like, you'd shorn your merinos and your half-breds really well, and Wairarapa started getting away on the second shear. So what were you thinking? You know, when he started to get away, what did you want to chase him? Or?
I had a yarn with Sam and Dion and Pete, fellas who's given me a hand with my gear, because I can be a little bit late sometimes, known to be a little bit behind time. Anyway, I talked with them and I said to them, I'm confident to go thin on the full wool, which I've done here before, and it's pretty thin. And this year the sheep are dry, so my full wool comb, the first brisket I shore was crusty, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, I'll shore that, and that started to shear them really well. So I just relaxed in, I shore my full wool, and I usually shear my full wool quite well, and I just did my job, and I shore the second shear out, and then I heard that Pies was in front, and I just thought, I felt like I couldn't go any faster, but that I didn't want to go faster anyway, because my job was going to disappear, just because of the way the combs, how harsh the sheep are in that, and a bit of crusty stuff on the backs, and if you start pushing it and it stops cutting, it's all over. So you start cutting, So I just relaxed back, and I thought, no, I've done my job, I'm just going to relax into it, and if I do all right, well, that's it. I can't do any more,
Well, Angus, it worked. It worked. Stunning outcome. Well done. Beautiful for you and Rātapu and your gorgeous little family. We wish you well,
yes,
and congratulations.
Thank you very much, and thanks to everyone watching. We'll see you around sometime. Awesome. Cheers.
Yep. Well done, Angus.
So let's back to the stadium.
All working together, all having a laugh together, listening to music together, Bob Marley, it doesn't matter, Bob, see, I've heard it all in the wool shed when I was shearing, so to me it just brings back great memories to see this, and you've got to have the heat. You can't shear sheep in a great coat as some of those freezing wool sheds used to be like, but you've got to have it warm and loosen up. So, but welcome, Jacinda. We last met at the rescue helicopter in Gizzy, actually, we were just saying, so that's a wee while ago now. Welcome, Prime Minister, great to have you. And but also, congratulations, Wairarapa. To put this on for 60 years is an incredible feat, and I would suspect it gets better and better every year, and I've seen that in the 3 years we've been supporting it. So Bailey's, yes, we sell real estate, but we're not about that today. We're about shearing, and we're very, very proud to support that. So thank you, Wairarapa, and thank you, Golden Shears.
Thank you, James. The Golden Shears is very grateful to all our sponsors. Between these men to my right, there are 11 Golden Shears Open final titles. There are 3 World Championship titles. It's quite clear from what we've seen tonight that these are the 6 best shearers in the world. The Golden Shears Bailey's Open Shearing winner will receive $4,000. The Golden Shears Open Challenge Trophy, a place in the Trans-Tasman shearing team, a Lister handpiece and Lister product. The winner's penalty points were 61.7. Second place was 63.2. The winner of the Golden Shears Bailey's Open Shearing, Roland Smith.
I don't think he is. We might just have to take him down there. Maybe I'll see how it goes.
Roland, we're here again. You have just etched your name into Golden Shears history. Roland Smith is now the second most successful shearer in Golden Shears history, behind only Sir David Fagan. Congratulations.
Cheers, Kieran. You left that one fairly high though, Dave. I don't know about 17. Big thanks to all the sponsors, Bailey's, for stepping up and a lot of money. Our shearing industry strive to perform at the top of our game, and you make it all worthwhile. All the other competitors here tonight, that was one heck of a final. It doesn't get any tougher than a Golden Shears final. These sheep are in amazing condition, and due to the season, we're dry cutting, but amazing shearing. So thank you to the farmer, all the judges, all the wool handlers, all the committee, my wife and family for supporting me. I actually told her I was going to cut back on the shows, and I don't know how that's going. And a big hole here this year without Kuru Mullins supporting us. Kuru was always very supportive of me throughout my career and had a lot of faith in me, and it's been sad to not have him here, so hope you're doing all right up there, mate. Cheers.
Well done, mate. Thank you, Roland. You're an absolute champion. It's just my luck that when I took over this job, the bloke that keeps winning it is 6'7" and stands next to me in the photos. Second place, $2,000 plus a Lister handpiece. Nathan Stratford. Third place, $1,200, Leon Samuels. Fourth place at $900 in his 21st Golden Shears Open final, John Kirkpatrick. Fifth place and $800. Give it up for the local boy, David Buick. Sixth place, $700, representing Scotland, Gavin Much. We have an additional award attached to this event. It is the John Henson Memorial Trophy for best quality points in the final, with points of 7.05. Put your hands together. Nathan Stratford. Our final award is the R.E. O'Hara Trophy. This is awarded to the best quality in any shearing grade final. And this year, with quality points of 6.6, it goes to the junior grade from Wales, Sam Jones. Congratulations, Sam. Just quickly, your family will be watching at home. Do you have a few words for them?
Thanks for all the support and everyone that's helped me along the way and that. And yeah, thanks everyone for organising.
Good on you, Sam. Well done. Would you like to make your way down for the photo? Now, just while the photo's being taken, this is normally the time where we say goodbye. But we're not going to do that tonight, because tonight's a party. So we invite you to stay. The band is going to play. We're going to clear the chairs and we're going to make a dance floor. The bar is going to be open till 1 in the morning. Let's celebrate the fact that Golden Shears has lasted 60 years. So hang around, enjoy yourself, make the most of it. But for those of you who are leaving, travel safe. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for sharing this moment with us.
Well, here we are back. We've just seen the results of the Bailey's Open Shearing final. Man, what a fabulous final that was, and what a fabulous result. But what we have right now is the famous Joel Henare, winner, 8th time winner of, and consecutive, of the Open Woolhandling. Sponsored by Shear Expertise. Joel, fantastic. Digger and I sat up here. We got him to come and be a guest commentator. You had him almost wanting to put his handpiece away, come and pick up a broom. Hey, Digger?
Well, you make it look so easy, Joel. Like, you know, it just looks like a walk in the park and anyone could do it.
Hit him.
And no doubt too, Digger, that you're right. But I think a lot of it just comes down to your mindset, and when you get that right, yeah, that you still have to walk that path.
Hey, tell me, you know, when you're throwing those fleeces, do you sort of keep it out of the corner of your eye? Do you watch your competitor and, her throw is no good or something like that? Do you watch them?
When I sweep the board, I turn and I look. When I'm going back to the table, I look at see how then I sort of know where I'm at. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peripheral vision.
See, I just want to ask you these questions just in case I take it up. So, you know, I might have a head start if I go in the novice wool handling.
That's right.
I might have a bit of a head start.
That's right.
Oh, we can't wait for that day. But Joel, how does that feel? How does that feel?
Oh, it's great. There's no words, Mavis, to explain how great that win was tonight. So close. I mean, I top qualified in the heats, but then I slipped down to 4th in the quarters, and I had to 3rd into the final, and then pull it back. But lucky for me that I have won it a few times, because I know what it's like to be a winner. Whereas the other competitors have never won, so they sort of can't see them having that red ribbon. But I knew I was going to be sitting here tonight with you.
Woohoo! There you go. How's that?
Oh, that's incredible.
Hey, look, Joel, the other thing is that, so you've stepped away really from the industry for a little while. You've got family commitments, personal commitments, so you've had to step away. And we were talking about this when you were competing, because often when people come back, they're not always as good as when they left. How do you feel?
Well, you know, I've had a bit of a up and down year, but I put things back into perspective. You got to be passionate about this sort of thing, and you got to be happy. You got to love it. That's why we do it. If you don't love it, you won't do it. Change it. Something's not working. Change it. You know, make everything count. Right out to the last blow. Every sock, make it count. Just a sock. Every second.
Yeah.
Every time you skirt, make it count, because that's what will. When no one's looking, the integrity. That's what will put you out on top, separate you from, there'll be you and everyone else. There's two types of people in the world, and Digger, you know yourself being a winner. There's the winning, and then there's everyone else. And that's just how it is.
That's the reality,
That's how you've got to be. Yep. Because otherwise, you're just like everyone else, and you're just coming along and just catching the same train. But you need to stand out sooner or later and find those things that make you separate from everyone else.
Tell us, Joel, that's number 8. David Fagan got 16 in the shearing, so you only need another 8, and then you'll be, the most. You'll equal David's record, and then you might even get a knighthood.
Digger, I don't even know how that man managed to keep it together in his mind for that long, because by gosh, there's a lot of thinking to be done, and the Golden Shears, they do great at putting these events, the semi and the quarters this morning, and then the semi on to the open final, so they strategically lay it out so you ain't got much time to prepare yourself for the next and the next.
You didn't answer the question, Joel.
What's
He said, so you've done 8, is there a 9, 10, 11?
To be honest, I don't
know?
I couldn't say, not at this point, but yeah.
Well, when you're that good, and when you're that confident, I mean, you ooze confidence. It'd be silly not to do this stuff. I mean, you're a natural, don't you think? I think you're a role model, and then you're an inspiration, Joel. And that's something quite special when you talk about what sets you apart. Those are the things for me. You're an inspiration, and you can provide aspirations for a lot of other people. So, whatever it is you love doing, just do it.
But you know what I like about it, Mavis, is you see Joel at these shows, and he's mentoring these young ones coming through, helping them, and he knows that the next ones have got to come through. So, Joel, that's it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Joel. Any special, and look, can I just say thank you so much for the shout out to Koro. I mean, this has been bittersweet for me, and I also know a lot of other people. And as a family, we've been very, supported, and so I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, sure.
And but before we go, is there anything you want to give to the 30,000 plus viewers online throughout the world that have hooked in to watch?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for watching and supporting our Golden Shears here, and the shearing and woolhandling industry. It's not a dead-end job, and this is where you can show off. This is the Olympics of it all. And look, tonight we get to be around some of the world's greatest people and mentors. So absolutely great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, beautiful, Joel. All the best for this year and for whatever it is that wherever your goals take you. Anything from you to him, Digger, before we say thank you to Joel?
No, just if I take this up, Joel, have you got a real good special broom that I might be able to borrow or something?
I've got a plan you can borrow. Yep.
Okay. See, I'm in, Mavis.
All right. Well, we'll make sure we must enter him for the circuit. I think, Joel, we'll do that today, eh?
Sounds good.
Sounds fantastic.
Lovely to have you up here with us, Joel.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All the best. Thank you. Well, guess what, people? 32,000 of you online. Just been fantastic to be able to share some time and to wrap the night up. You know, let's just go to the pinnacle of it all. Really, really honoured to have in the studio with me, obviously, our Golden Shears, Bailey's Open champion for 2020, the 60th anniversary, Roland Smith.
Cheers,
Talk to us.
Yeah, cheers, Mavis. Yeah, that was one of the harder ones of Sean in there, purely down to the season that the Masterton area has had. The sheep was still in amazing condition, but they were just very dry cutting.
Yeah.
And we saw that throughout the whole event, through the 4 days. But that was up to us to get our gear ready, but it didn't make it any easier to shear those 20 sheep. But yeah.
It was a fantastic final, and of course we have here a principal sponsor from Bailey's, James. How does this make you feel?
Well, I don't feel as tired as probably Rolly does, but look, I just love watching that sweat and watching those warm and sweet cutting sheep there. Well, you make it look easy, Rolly, and that's from somebody who's done quite a bit of shearing actually. So it's incredible, and I have to say congratulations. We're going to give Rolly your job actually. You realise that? And we'll let you come to all the shows. We'll give you permission to do that. But
it's not him you have to talk to. I think there's someone else you have to have a chat with.
They're over there. Yeah, we'll butter them up later.
No, fantastic night, James, and you know, on behalf of Sam and Golden Shears, the sponsorship from Bailey's is just incredible, and you know, it allows us to do amazing things like this with amazing people like this. So you know, it's don't think it's not unappreciated.
Look, it's a pleasure, and what we uncover in this is how many of our rural real estate agents have been shearers at some point of their careers, and often they're dairy farmers. It's not just sheep and beef or whatever. You know, everybody. So many people went shearing to get their first farms, and it's just the response we have is very, very encouraging, and sponsorship something you monitor, and we have to give good justifications. But the Golden Shears, I think, it's a New Zealand icon anyway. So why wouldn't we?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't we?
That's right. No, well, again, certainly appreciate it. But Rolly, to you, now you're not even a real full-time proper shearer anymore, are you really? Or are you?
No.
What's all the story?
No.
What's the real story?
Yeah, so took a bit of a step back from the front line of shearing. We still run a small shearing gang in Hawke's Bay along with Kingston Farming. We're sort of working together, and much appreciation to all the guys that work with us and work for us, and letting me do what I do, and we've got a small ag business down there now, and driving tractors is more what I do now. But I think I've enjoyed the season more than I have in a long time. Just not the pressure of shearing all the time, and that expectation that I had on my own self to be as good as I could be, and sort of stepping back a little bit, but still as competitive as ever, and put a lot of pressure on myself. But it's been enjoyable, and I've really enjoyed it, and I think I might keep going a little bit longer.
Well, it's working. That's the thing. It's working. And we've just had Joel Henry in here, who's had a couple of years off as well, and he just says, I'll tell you the interesting thing. He said, I know what it's like to win. I know what that's like. He said, I knew I was going to sit in this room tonight. I mean, when you have that without the pressure of the day-to-day, it's working for you, Rolly. There's a lot left in you, and we'll all do our best to encourage the Ingrid to, just ease up and let's get this man going, because there's a lot left yet. So we've had messages tonight from the UK, from your family over there. They were checking on it to make sure that we had the right time so that the kids could all be there. I'm sure there's something you want to say to them.
Oh, look, from my brother living over there now, and we've got a lot of support over there from when me and my brother both did world records over there. It was quite amazing, because the support and team effort that we had in the UK for those records was like we were at home. It was amazing. We had, for both of it, mine and Matt's record, we had around about 60 volunteers to make those records happen, and they're just amazing, and it's cool to see them all supporting us still.
Yeah, well, you've got a couple of niece and nephew, I think, that are looking for something a little bit more specific than that, Rolly.
Yeah, no, thanks Matt and Pip and Dusty and George, and then they've got another one on the way now. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So, look, Joel imparted some pearls of wisdom from his experience to the young ones out there or those coming through. I know you've had a hard time. The last thing you want to be doing is sitting here, but come on, there must be some pearls that you might want to just release for those that are standing there looking up to you.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. Like I can remember standing here when I was sort of 12 years old. It's the first time I competed here, so it's 20 years ago now, in the novice, and all I saw was awe of the open final, and all I wanted to be was up there and be competitive. And I still feel weird, like I don't actually feel as if I'm in the same league of those guys that were back then. But I was never gifted with a silver spoon or anything like that. I was just like anyone else that learned how to shear, and is not naturally talented at all in terms of shearing, and all it was hard work and dedication to get better and strive to be as good as I could be. And I used to go to bed at night thinking about what I could be better at, and you do that enough times, you'll get good at anything. So yeah, I mean, everybody's capable of being a world champion, so if anybody tells you you're not, then they're wrong.
Fantastic. If anyone tells you you're not, they're wrong.
Yeah,
that's a great message to end up on, Rolly. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Sam and his team, it's just to say we're proud of you. We just, this is what 200 volunteers work for 12 months for this very moment with you, James, and Rolly. And to all of our worldwide viewers out there, thank you for joining us. It's been a bit of a trip over ourselves, play around as we try to fill gaps in this whole space, but thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget, it'll be the same again this time next year. We're always here, we're ready for 61. Drive safe wherever you are, but ka kite anō, kia ora koutou.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.